got two huge updates that I think is going to affect what Real Madrid do from now until the end of the transfer window. Now, you see the two players that I have on the screen, Nico Paz and Dani Ceballos. And right now, there's a lot of transfer rumors that's going around concerning these two players. And I think when it comes down to what Real Madrid might do before this window is over, these two players are linked. These are domino effects, in my opinion, whether you want to call that a conspiracy theory or not. Now, for anybody that's confused, we are going to break it down like a kilo of cocaine because there's so many reports that's coming out, and I'm going to be connecting the dots. With Nico Paz, we just saw Tottenham have had an amazing offer for him get rejected by Como. And according to a lot of Tier 1 reporters, Real Madrid were the reason that this deal fell through. Now, looking at Dani Ceballos, after our match against Oviedo, there's been a lot of rumors coming out, and it's damn near been confirmed that he's going to be leaving this summer, whether it's on loan or on a permanent deal. And they're saying that Marseille in France is the club that he's more than likely going to end up at. So I think it's connected, like I said, because Real Madrid are now in the market for a midfielder, according to the big pages. So we got to talk about it. But I want you guys to get in the comment section. Let me know, what do you think Real Madrid need to do? Which midfielder should we sign? And is there other positions that you want the team to address before this window closes? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Let's get it. I want to start off with Nico Paz because there's been so much speculation around this player during the transfer window. Initially, it seemed like Real Madrid were going to buy him back. Don't forget, we have the clause in his deal where for the next 3 summers, we have an option to bring him back. And the price is very cheap. We could have brought him back this summer for only 8 million euros. You got teams out here bidding 70 million euros to try and sign this player. And since he's joined Como last summer, he's developed into a top player. He's one of the best midfielders in Serie A. And he's played so well that now he's a part of the Argentinian national team setup. This guy is an absolute baller. And I think Madrid are going to have to make a decision very soon, because I don't see him staying at Como after this season. Next summer, he will be getting a huge move, whether that's back to Real Madrid or to a top club somewhere else in Europe. Now, like I said, Fabrizio Romano revealed that Tottenham, they bid 70 million for this player. And Nico Paz and Como have turned it down. Paz wants to stay at Como with a view on Real Madrid future. Plus, Real Madrid were going to match any proposal in case. Real have a 10 million buyback clause in 2026, but will compensate Como in the future. Now, the thing is, right? We could have brought him back for 8 million euros, like I said earlier. But that clause had a time frame. So the deadline for us to activate the 8 million has passed for this summer. So if we did want to buy him back from Como, we would have to pay them a huge fee right now, or we'd have to just wait until next summer window where we can get him for 10 million euros. Now, I don't believe we would have matched any offer that they would have accepted. And I am a bit confused on why Como rejected it. What I'm thinking is that Nico Paz himself said that he does not want to leave. Because if the player doesn't want to join a club, it doesn't matter what offer their current team accepts. If he refuses the move, there's nothing that they can do about that. And I believe he thinks if he stays at Como one more season, develops properly, he will get that move back to Madrid. And I agree. But at the same time, with this Dani Ceballos news that's coming out, I'm starting to speculate that maybe Nico Paz could possibly find his way back at Madrid before the end of this summer window, even though more than likely it's not going to happen. But like I said, this guy's an absolute baller. Like, Real Madrid's academy is so underrated. They say that we don't produce any good players. Well, look at Nico Paz, one of the best in Serie A. Look at Hakimi, for example. Look at some of the other guys that we have. Those are just the two that come top of mind. Now, Fabrizio also gave us another update saying Real Madrid had a big role in stopping Nico Paz's proposal worth $70 million from Tottenham. Real are happy with Paz staying at Como this season, but his move to Madrid in summer 2026 is increasingly likely. He's expected to join Real next summer. Now, I think the reason that we didn't bring him back this summer was because, one, not that many players left. So our first team spots are very limited at the moment. And I think with the club bringing in Franco Mastantuono, he's a very similar profile in terms of he can also play in midfield, but on the right. So I think Nico Paz just became an afterthought in terms of a priority. Now, I think for him, he should stay at Como one more season. It's a World Cup year. He's already in the Argentina national team setup. You don't want to risk moving to Tottenham or another club and then you struggle and you're not performing well. Then you miss out on the World Cup, for example, right? So I think Nico Paz right now is in the right place. When I look at this player, I view him as a 10/8. Very technical, can link play, can take free kicks, has a good shot on him as well, right? Just one of those complete attacking-minded midfielders. And it's just kind of jarring because I remember the season 23-24 when he was making his breakthrough, right? When he was given opportunities, Nico Paz played so well. But Carlo Ancelotti, you guys know how he is with these young players. He didn't give him that many opportunities. I remember that goal that he scored in the Champions League against Napoli from way outside the box. I think if Xabi Alonso was our manager when Nico Paz was still at Real Madrid, I think he would still be in the squad right now. I don't think he would have gotten sold because we know Xabi likes to give the youth a chance. But it's interesting to see that Real Madrid had a big role in stopping Nico Paz going to Tottenham. Maybe they told him, if you stay at Como, we will bring you back. It's like Fabrizio said. He is expected to join us next summer. So we're kind of already getting confirmation on one of the first signings that we possibly will see in the 2026 summer window. And again, this guy's value has skyrocketed since joining Como. We can buy him back for $10 million when teams are out here bidding $70 million. That is a steal. But at the same time, Como, they don't like that. And look at this. Just to kind of break down again what it is. So it says Real Madrid could have brought him back this summer for $8 million. 2026, they're saying $9 million. I thought it was 10. But they're saying summer of 2027 is 10. So, look, it's kind of some contradicting reports that's going on here a little bit. But point is, we can get him next summer for nothing compared to what his value is. Now, if you're Como, this does seem like a bad deal. Because, yes, we sold them this player for cheap. So cheap that not only do we have the 3 summers that we can buy him back for very low, but also we own 50% of his rights. So, for example, if Como would have sold him to Tottenham for $70 million, for example, we would have gotten half of that, right? So that's about what, $35 million? Now, it seems like Como is getting the short end of the deal here. And now it's coming out that even though they've rejected Tottenham's bid for Nico Paz, right? Como are now working with Real Madrid to remove the 50% sell-on clause and to also renegotiate Madrid's buyback clause at a higher rate. Because again, look at these numbers, right? This is their best player, Nico Paz is. They're saying that for next summer, we can bring him back for 9 million euros. In 2027, we can buy him back for 10 million euros. Now, the reason why Como have to accept these kind of conditions initially is because they're a small club. They don't have a big budget. They're going to try and buy young players and then develop them, right? Nico Paz has been a success for them. And I think that they also want to keep that Madrid youth line to their club open, right? Because they just signed Jacobo Raman. Now they're also looking at that right back, or is he a left back, from AC Milan, Alex Jimenez, who's also from Real Madrid Academy. And I think, when you're a team like Como, when you're buying from these huge clubs, especially some of their best talent, we're going to want you to, look, we'll give you the player for cheap, but that comes with a price. So now they're trying to renegotiate what's going on in this clause. But the thing is, me personally, I would not give them anything less than 50% of their release. Like, for me, that has to stay. Because if we don't end up buying him back, right? And let's say he leaves next summer and goes to, I don't know, like Man City for $100 million. Yeah. We need 50% of that, right? I would not remove that. But what I would negotiate with Como is a higher buyback clause, just so that they can be a little bit more compensated for developing this player so nicely. So this is one to keep an eye on, right? Because Nico Paz is an absolute baller. And I think he would do well in this Xabi Alonso system with the possession-based style of football that we like to play. So I would keep an eye on this because Dani Ceballos might be on the way out. They're saying that Olympique Marseille are keen on signing Ceballos as a dream target for the midfield. Initial talks took place, not an easy deal with Real Madrid, but Marseille are trying. Loan with option to buy is being discussed. Now, personally, I'd rather just sell Dani Ceballos, right? I think his time at the club should be coming to an end. He's been here for a while. He's a mediocre player, right? He did have some good moments for us, but overall, the guy is a steady Eddie, right? He's not a top player. He's not somebody that makes that much of an impact. He is a squad player, right? That is what Dani Ceballos is. And if Marcel do want to bring him in, I would hope that it's a loan with an obligation to buy, right? But they're saying that Real Madrid are now searching for a midfielder to let Ceballos leave. So basically, we don't want to let Ceballos leave the club without having another player coming in for him. This is where I'm saying, well, do the club look to just bring in Nico Paz this summer? And if I'm Nico Paz, by the way, I'm not coming back to Real Madrid this summer. Again, it's a World Cup year. You're the main man at Como. You're developing nicely. If Nico Paz comes to Madrid right now, yes, I think he'd help us. I think he is an upgrade over Ceballos. But at the same time, he's not going to be starting week in, week out. He's not going to be playing a bunch of minutes like he would at Como. So his development isn't going to be as quick as if he would have stayed at Como. I did just want to add that. But I think the club are going to be looking to bring in a midfielder, right? There's a bunch of players that are out there who do fit that profile of a ball playing 8. Right? People who could be deep line playmakers like an Adam Wharton, or look at a Kobe Mainu, for example, who's unhappy at Manchester United. I see that we're being linked to that kid from AZ Alkmaar. Maybe even a big signing like an Enzo Fernandez. Who knows, right? What Real Madrid are going to do. But I think it's going to be a very busy next few days in this summer window because it is almost closing. And if we do get a player out, I think the club will look to bring somebody in. Now, according to the reports, they're saying that Dani Ceballos has said yes to Marcel. So hopefully he's out the door and we're able to use his spot to bring in somebody else. You know what's actually crazy? After the game against Oviedo, he did post on his Instagram story, The Last Dance. So, yeah, there's been so much speculation. Every summer, it's like, is Ceballos going to leave? Is he going to stay? Right? He's being linked with Betis every summer. It never materializes. So, hopefully, Marcel can get the job done. So, I think these two moves are connected. Again, call me a conspiracy theorist. It is what it is. But get in the comment section. Let me know what you're saying. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And turn on those post notifications. Holla Madrid!